Today's NATO summit in The Hague is not merely ceremonial, it's an existential reckoning, and at its heart lies a single destabilizing uncertainty. Can the West rely on Donald Trump? With Ukraine's agony still unfolding, Russia's cyber aggression rising, the Iran-Israel tensions threatening to ignite a wider war, NATO should be a fortress of resolve. Instead, it feels like a group therapy session where allies nervously ask, what does Article 5 ever mean anymore? We have to remember, we have to begin with a reminder. Article 5 of the NATO treaty is the cornerstone of collective defence. It's been invoked only once after 9/11 and forms the psychological bedrock of the transatlantic alliance. It's not a poetic flourish, it's a promise. And yesterday President Trump said he would give an exact definition of Article 5 when I get there. He later mused that there were numerous definitions. This isn't just semantics. This is sabotage. Throwing the shoes in the machine. The consequences are chilling. If the United States, the largest military power in the alliance, is unsure whether it would defend Latvia or Poland in the event of a Russian incursion, then the entire logic of NATO collapses. Trump's conditionality, essentially demanding that allies pay up or be left to fend for themselves, weaponizes uncertainty. He's already pushed for defence spending targets far beyond the 2% previously agreed. Now it's 5% by 2035. But even where European countries tried to comply, with Spain the notable holdout, Trump implies it may not be enough. One European official, quoted anonymously, said, "We gave him what he wanted, now he's screwing us anyway." There's a pattern. Trump threatens to dismantle the alliance. Europe scrambles to appease him. He takes the concession and moves the goalposts. It is, in essence, a protection racket dressed up as diplomacy. Mark Rutte, NATO's new Secretary General and a man of proven Atlanticist instincts, tries to flatter Trump by praising how he made Europe pay in a big way. But this is not statesmanship. This is hostage negotiation. Now, why does this matter beyond diplomatic theatre? Because signals matter. And when the leader of the free world treats NATO as a transactional club rather than a strategic covenant, it invites miscalculation from adversaries. Putin, who has long dreamt of fracturing the Western alliance, will be watching closely. If he concludes that Trump is unwilling to defend Vilnius, he may test it. Indeed, Trump's ambiguity over Article 5 is not just reckless, it's strategically provocative. It broadcasts to the world that deterrence is up for debate. And this is not only about tanks and treaties, it's about trust. For Britain, the irony is acute. Keir Starmer has just announced the purchase of 12 F-35 jets capable of carrying American tactical nuclear bombs. Britain is recommitting to NATO's nuclear mission, but this commitment rests on a fragile premise that Washington under Trump will still extend its nuclear umbrella. Let's not underestimate what is at stake. Trump's definition of Article 5 could redraw the strategic map of Europe. It could push the continent towards rearmament, fragmentation, or worse, resignation to a post-American order. And it's not as if Trump has a reputation for doing the right thing. His withdrawal from the Iran agreement is entirely the reason for the Israel-Iran aggression at the moment. So what should Europe do? Firstly, it must stop flattering Trump and start planning for autonomy. Not in hostility to the United States, but as insurance against its unreliability. Secondly, NATO must reaffirm Article 5 not merely with words, but with credible deployments, shared command structures and genuine solidarity. And finally, the public, especially the UK, must understand that what Trump says in The Hague matters just as much as what Putin does in the Donbass.